Okay, lights. Camera. Action! That was better.
Yeah, this camera the first time wasn't accurate. I don't know what camera like this. Hi guys, I'm Hannah.
I'm Sadie.
And we're not straight. And the last few days have been a wild ride.
So we wanted to just tell the tale.
Tell the tale. Christmas 2019. What happened? Where have we been? Why do I look so pale? Just kidding. We'll get there. So, first things first. We decide to serve vegan brunch for my whole family. So we're making one last trip to the grocery store the night before we're headed to my mom's house.
The eve of Christmas Eve.
Yes, Christmas Eve. We're headed to Safeway, and we get all the way in line, we check out, we find one last thing, we get back in line, we check out, as these trips tend to go, and we get in the car, and something just feels kind of off, and it's already like 10 o'clock at night, it's
dark, it's
cold outside.
A little wet, just because it always is in Seattle.
True, and we have on these like thin little sweatshirts, and she has her like slides on, like flip-flops.
So we noticed that people behind us, at least one person honked at us, and we were like, man, like...
This is as we're driving away.
Yeah, we're in the parking lot, like, come on, and like, ease up.
Hard to tell if they were honking at us or at someone else.
Yeah,
but it was like twice they laid on the horn, and I was like, okay, something is wrong back there. I check. I'm like, did we forget our bag, or did we do something egregiously wrong? And then, like another 20 feet, we're rolling, and we hear this boom, boom, boom on the trunk of our car, and
some man is pounding on the trunk of our car. So you can imagine. What we were thinking. Probably a million thoughts in about 0.5 seconds.
Right. She just about pees her pants. I'm like, oh, let me roll down the window and see what he wants. So this guy comes rolling over to the passenger's window, and he goes, you got a flat. And he's like out of breath because he's just chased us
through the parking lot.
Probably all the way across the parking lot,
nice.
Which is very nice of this man. But we were in too much shock. We were just like, thank you, and then he just runs. This is like an old man who just turns around and runs away again. So then we're like, oh, Jesus, what do we do now? Sadie pulls off, and we get out of the car. We're like throwing open doors, throwing open the trunk.
We get out the spare tire, we get out the jack, and this other man walking through the parking lot says, oh, you guys got a flat? And I said, yep. And he goes, do you need help? And I said, no, thank you. And he said, all right, well, I gotta go get my daughters anyway. And I was like, all right, are they gonna help, or? And so
then she turns to me, and she goes, you don't know how to change a flat, do you? And I was like, no, do you? And she goes, no. So
thus began our adventure.
Oh my God. And, you know, like one popped blood vessel in my hand later, like 20 minutes of like stomping on the little wrench that gets the lug nuts off. We finally get them all loosened. We get the tire back on. We hobble our way back home and decide not to use my car anymore for the rest of vacation. And now, of course, student Hannah is worried about funding maybe an entire set of new tires, which is a rough start to Christmas. So anyway, we end up at my mom's, we stay up really late, we are having a blast, and we wake up Christmas morning, and my sister's fiance has gotten us all lottery tickets.
Scratch
tickets. And we're all scratching them off, and I'm literally on my first one, and it's this like word search thing. I'm not super familiar with scratch tickets. Obviously, I've done like one in my life. And I'm scratching, and I just keep finding words. I'm like, you guys, I think according to this, I've won like $15 already. And everyone in the room is like, what?
No, you haven't. We were all kind of like, what? We'd all done these word search ones and gotten nothing.
Right. So
like, maybe someone should double check that.
My sister like crawls across the carpet to me, and she's like, oh my God, she's right. $75 worth of words had been uncovered. And I'm like, oh my God, Christmas has turned around. This is gonna be fantastic. I can get a new tire and a half, maybe, at least. But then...
So we had been talking about the fact that, like, bad things happen in threes, right?
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh geez, what else is gonna happen? You know, what else is gonna happen on Christmas?
We had
or
been
New
expecting...
Year's or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of like, man, this is great. Maybe the curse is broken. Maybe more things won't happen. And we were quickly proven wrong.
That night, when we arrive on Vashon Island for like Christmas Part 2 with Sadie's parents, we were playing this game called Codenames in bed, and I started to feel kind of weird, and I was like, why do those sweet chili Doritos smell so awful to me right now? She loves them, which is fine. They're not my thing. Tim's Cascade jalapeno chips all day, every day. But anyway, so
I'm like, all right, like it's late. Like we stayed up super late the night before playing games with her family, and I'm thinking like, it's just like we've been playing games all night, all day. We've been traveling a little bit. Like it's probably just like them moving around. And so I'm like, okay, let's just go to bed. Like you'll just sleep it off. And I was like, what do you feel like? She's like, I feel like pretty nauseated. Like I kind of feel like I want to throw up.
Yeah, which I've thrown up like 3 times in my life ever, total. So for me to say that was like weird. So Sadie's like, your body will do what it does. Let's just tuck in to bed and maybe you'll feel better when you wake up.
Yeah. This is where it gets a little graphic.
So fast forward like
1 hour?
Maybe 1 hour. And I am like, oh nope, something's wrong. First trip to the bathroom. Which, had you fallen asleep already?
Mm-hmm.
Like barely?
Yeah.
So she wakes up to the sound of me vomiting violently, and like rushes in. She's like, what can I do? I'm like, who knows? And it was bad, but I felt way better. Like, yeah. I remember telling you like, wow, that really needed to happen. Like maybe I just ate something that didn't sit right.
Yeah.
I'll go lay down, see how it goes. And then it was like 20 minutes later.
Same thing.
Back in the bathroom. And now I'm afraid to go back into the bedroom. Like, I'll just stay here on the floor in front of the heater. And now I have chills. I'm like freezing sitting in front of this heater because my body is trying so hard to do whatever it's doing.
Yeah.
And then I remember that one of the 3 other times that I've thrown up in my life, I had food poisoning. And I'm like, this feels
familiar.
Eerily familiar in the worst way.
So 5 hours later, Hannah has
sufficiently emptied.
Yeah, I think expelled all of the demons.
Yes.
Although was left with an absolutely thoroughly dehydrated system.
And I couldn't drink water because as soon as I drank water, I would throw up again. But I was so dehydrated that I had this like raging headache. And I also couldn't lay down because if I laid down, I would throw up because it was nauseating to be anything but vertical. So I'm sitting there like in the bed against the wall. Sadie is like trying to keep her eyes open so that she can just be there awake with me. And I can't drink water, but I can't sleep and I can't throw up anymore because there's nothing left. It was like the most torturous purgatory I've ever felt.
Yeah, so it was like 5 hours of straight hell and then 5 more hours of just sitting there. And
like waiting for the sun to come as if that would like change anything and like, oh, when it's daytime it'll be better.
Yeah. So I went to the store and got a bunch of like electrolyte things.
She comes back with like this huge bag. She's like, I got you this, I got you ginger, I got you tea, I got you Gatorade. And I was like, what? Like half asleep.
So
pause. You never know how much you want to be with someone for the rest of your life until you get ridiculously sick like that. Let me tell you, it was like one of those moments where I looked over at her and I was like, how are you being so incredible to me right now? Because you just watched me like half-naked vomit for like 6 hours. It's not the cutest. Anyway, she was the best. So,
if you're wondering if you should spend the rest of your life with someone,
give food poisoning. Oh.
Give them food poisoning or get food poisoning, depending on what you're wondering about.
Give them food poisoning. Good advice. Good
That
advice.
would be a good test of their
Try this at home.
willingness to spend their life with you.
Oh my god. Okay, so the next day.
We're just kidding. Highly not recommended.
Okay, so the next day, I spend most of the day in bed.
Yeah.
Just trying to sleep and ingest whatever liquids I can. She's like trying to salvage the last day of vacation that she has with her parents who live kind of far away. I think I'm gonna take a shower because I always feel better if I'm sick when I take a shower. And Sadie's like, oh, I'll go grab our shower stuff upstairs. I'll get you a towel. We'll get you set up. You'll feel so much better. Anyway, I remember, and it was a hot, steamy shower in a small room, and you get the idea. So I feel it coming, but only about 4 seconds in advance. So
yeah, we were sitting maybe like 30 feet away in the kitchen from the bathroom, and I just hear 2 loud crashes, and I was like, she passed out. To which my dad comments, I think she fell down. I think you're right. So I sprint into the bathroom and find her pinned between the sink and the toilet where she had kind of like landed. And so I kind of like grab her and help her sit down and grab her towel. And
so I'm like butt naked at this point, still have conditioner all in my hair. I was mid-shower. Like, this was not like me like, oh, I'm done, I'm gonna open the door, and oh, I'm falling on my way out. This was like mid-rinse.
So I grab Hannah and I help her kind of sit down.
Yeah.
And we close the shower door. The shower's still on. And close the shower door, and she sits down and kind of closes her eyes. And so I'm just kind of sitting there waiting for her to like take some breaths and like recover and stuff, and my mom comes in, and so there we are, just the 3 of us, Hannah naked and me and my mom sitting in the bathroom with her.
Hannah somewhat conscious. Oh my God. And I've spent like a couple weekends with Sadie's parents here and there. Like, she's come to visit us, but I wouldn't say
it's not enough time for my mom to have seen her naked in the past, so this was the first time.
This was the first time.
Might be the last.
Oh my God, it was.
So maybe like 3 or 4 minutes pass, and I help Hannah kind of like get clothes on and lay down on the couch and stuff. And my mom comes over and just to check on her and see how she's doing. And she's like, God, Hannah, I'm so sorry. That's so scary. You know, it's never. You don't want to be sick like away from home. It's the worst feeling, and all these things. And she goes, and I mean, silver lining, I saw you naked and you have a great body, so there's that.
Oh my God, I lost my shit. I could not believe that she was making like, not like food poisoning jokes, but kind of like,
it was, I think it was a well-timed comment.
It was so funny. I don't even know how to describe it. So
anyway, there was Christmas 2019.
Yeah.
Turns out things happen in 3s, even if you win the lottery.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
That doesn't offset the curse. It doesn't like reverse the first one of the 3. It just means that there's...
Yeah, nothing slows down after that. It's keep trucking, so...
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we've been.
Yeah.
If you like this video, press the like button.
Subscribe, comment, tell us what you think.
And we'll hit you with a new one soon.
Yeah.